Okay, away we go on the Friday edition. Mr. Irrelevant, Alex Strouf with you. Joshie DiMaggio will appear at some point. Not here yet. Will Summers has the day off, so it's just me and Hunter for the time being. Hunter Vaughn with us, running the show as always, back at the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Matthew, TGIF weekend can't come soon enough, he says on YouTube. M. Pip, whose comments we'll get to in a moment, says, imagine being 5-3-1 and it's a must win. I'll explain that in a moment. And then Joseph, I believe, mocking me for always being cold in Green Bay, says, here's a place you can go for cold game gear. So there you go. Good to see the chat active early, and let's keep it active often on YouTube, at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, as we preview Packers-Giants coming up on Sunday, as the Giants have the worst record in the NFC. The Packers currently the 7 seed in the NFC at the aforementioned 5-3-1. So, hopefully he can get it done. A little rebound on Sunday after 2 losses in a row to Carolina and Philadelphia, respectively. And a lot of things on my mind ahead of this one between the Packers and the Giants. We will hear from coordinator Jeff Hafley at some point as well. We'll take a look at the NFC North and whether or not that's a realistic goal for the Packers still, despite the 2 recent losses. We'll hit our NFL picks and we'll hit what we missed, presented by Door County Distillery, all ahead on this Friday edition of Mr. Irrelevant. But as we always do, we check in on the mental state of Josh DiMaggio, because he's been a roller coaster this week. He's been a know-it-all. He's been negative. He's been a hockey guy. How are we looking?
I don't know if I've been a roller coaster. I think I've been pretty steady. You just don't like where my coaster's been.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, my coaster's been driving along the ground, maybe doing some subterranean action.
He's been that kiddie ride where it's just the cars on the track and they just go 2 miles an hour.
The little dragon.
Yeah.
The dragon that they have at your local fair. I know we're getting to Jeff Hafley, but I sure hope the Packers don't let the better head coach walk out the building.
I mean, the hope is neither head coach walks out the building. And
wow.
I think that's incredibly unlikely.
Immensely, especially after the performance he put on yesterday. People noticed. Hey,
he's a passionate dude. He's a passionate dude. I love Hawken, who has been joining us live on Fridays, the podcast listener other times. He's become the biggest JOSHY guy ever since your puck comments. So he chimed in with, there's no Premier League soccer this weekend. My happiness will now be fully determined by the Packers.
Oh, no.
Not ideal.
What about the Blackhawks? They got a game this weekend. What F1 race is going on?
F1 race? When did you become an F1
Tomorrow,
guy?
6 p.m. Hawks Maple Leafs. Join me. I'll be watching.
No, you won't be.
No, Bedard against Austin Matthews. Oh, 2 young superstars.
Joshy's got a prior commitment tomorrow, which, so we talked about Will's a couple Fridays ago. He was out of Bullwinkle's, I think, in Brookfield is where that is.
Yeah.
You're at Deer Camp right by Fiserv Forum tomorrow night.
Uh-huh.
And you're with our friends from Michelob Ultra. I think I can stay. I will also be there. I'm going to come join you. So if you're looking for a place to watch the Bucks game tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Joshy's working. I'm just drinking.
This is one of those few unique times where it is actually suggested to have a beer or two responsibly as part of this job. So that's always a good job you like to have.
That is true.
Yeah.
So Joshy's going to be cracking a few Michelob Ultras. I'm going to be drinking a few Michelob Ultras down at Deer Camp tomorrow, right up the street from Fiserv Forum. Formerly 3rd Street, now MLK Boulevard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Matthew chimes in. You following the Admirals at all, Joshy?
No, but I should, because as I've said many times before, I love to chuck a puck.
I also love chuck a puck. Everybody's sad there's no F1 this weekend, according to Nick. So it's all Blackhawks or bust for you.
Wow, this is...
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Jeff Hafley, the Packers defensive coordinator. As Joshy mentioned, he put on a show yesterday. Just a terrifically passionate press conference. Talking ball, defending LaFleur, talking about how they're going to get this thing back on the tracks. Also addressed some rumors about him potentially being the next Giants head coach and just said he's ignoring him, but maybe his mom's paying attention to him. But here's Hafley defending the head coach in the Packers offense ahead of Sunday's game in New Jersey against the Giants.
Watch, I got confidence that our offense is going to go out, and this is no disrespect to the Giants, and we're going to score a lot of points. I mean, that's one of the best head coaches in all of the NFL and one of the best play callers, who I still hate going against in 2 minutes like we do today, because he's really hard to defend. And they're going to get going. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about what we did against the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense. So everything, we're going to be okay. But I'm not changing how I am, so you can't bring me down today.
I love that. You can't bring me down today. That's what I sound like every day of the week talking to you.
No.
Josh, you can't bring me down today.
I bring you down all the time.
I don't think you do.
You also get way more upset when Josh tries to bring you down. Hafley was like, you can't do it. You can't phase me at all. And I actually believe him. I don't believe you when you say that, Strouf.
Yeah. It's not phony.
I'm feeling a lot better about the Packers today than I have been all week.
Oh, wouldn't you know it?
Yep, game's getting
Josh,
closer.
You're not gonna bring me down.
Yeah.
Josh, you're not going to bring me down.
Here we go. I'm feeling good. I think this is the turnaround. This is the moment that they prove who they are.
I don't know about all that, but I think it's just a good opportunity to prove, hey, maybe we don't suck as much as some people think we do, including our own fan base. And again, look, the Giants aren't a good team. They have the fired coach theory at play, which I think we all believe in. Right? A team gets up after they fire their coach. This is their first game since firing Brian Daboll. But I am really excited to see what the offense does this weekend, good or bad. Because if it's good, then okay, I think we can go, okay, whew, glad we're out of that, heading into a lot of divisional games.
A win would do that for you?
A good offensive performance would do that for me.
I guess that's a stupid question by me.
Yeah, like this is the Giants defense that gave up 40-something to the Cowboys. Like, of course, you would hope that they can. If they don't, it's really, really bad.
Packers defense gave up 40.
The amount of information required from you to be back in would be like, hey, they scored 24 points. They're back.
No, I think I probably need more than 24, but
let's try that answer again, but without lying to the Mr. Relevant Army.
24 might do it.
So confident.
No, here's the thing, though, because I want to make it very, very clear, because I think I played that Hafley clip on purpose because he's right. Like, obviously, we're in this tumultuous couple of weeks where the expectations are clearly not even close to being met, especially offensively. It's been really brutal. It's been repetitive. It's been predictable, and it's been really hard to watch, frankly, between the Carolina and the Philadelphia game, what this offense does. Nobody's going to disagree with me on that. It's been hard to watch. But to do the thing we've done this week, which is reactionary, and I get it, it's Matt LaFleur in the hot seat. Does Matt LaFleur give up play calling? I get why we do it, because whenever you're making a case like that, right? Whenever you're suggesting a change should be made, and I think a better example to use for this would be the Wisconsin Badgers. When fans are booing at Camp Randall and chanting "Fire Fickle," it's not because they hate the Wisconsin Badgers or they hate the University of Wisconsin. It's because they have higher expectations for their teams, and we have higher expectations for the Packers. So to do the LaFleur conversation, sure. I don't think he should be fired in season. If you're going to make a change, make it at the end of the season. Make it at the end of the season. And we can evaluate with 8 more games to go, whether or not that's a good decision. Hopefully more than 8 games to go. But what is very, very, very clear to me is the last 2 weeks have gone stale, predictable, and ugly offensively. But I, personally, am under the belief that Matt LaFleur is better than that. I believe he is what Jeff Hafley just called him. One of the best head coaches, one of the best play callers in the National Football League. The last 2 weeks have certainly not been his brightest days, by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, have not been his best days. But I think he is better than what we've seen the last 2 weeks. And against a pretty bad team who's down and out and outside of their front four, does not pose that great of a challenge defensively. It's a good opportunity to let Love sling the pill a little bit. Now, I'm worried about the offensive line. Everybody should be. And it's very clear Matt LaFleur is worried about the offensive line. But you've got to get to a point where your 5 are going to be your 5, and you've just got to go. And if you can't get the run game going, then utilize Love. Throw the football. Intermediate stuff that you've kind of gone away from the last few weeks. He's better than this. And I don't think you can argue with that. LaFleur is better than what we've seen the last 2 weeks. I don't think the league is necessarily caught up to him, like maybe I said on Wednesday. Walking that one back a little bit.
To be clear, the league has caught up to this current iteration.
Yes, that I agree with.
Yes.
But I think Matt LaFleur is much better than this current iteration of the Packers.
I think I said this on Wednesday, that Matt LaFleur has earned the opportunity to dig himself out of this hole.
Yep.
But all of these points are counting against him right now. And if he doesn't turn things around quickly and, to be frank, pretty drastically, because I think a 7th seed and a one and done in the playoffs probably makes his job real tough
hard
to keep.
Yeah.
I think winning the division or winning a playoff game, he's back.
I would say this, and for those of you that haven't watched yet, it'll be up in the Irrelevant feed this weekend too, on the podcast side. My conversation with Jason Wilde about this on Weekly Wilde, I thought he brought up something I hadn't thought about yet, because you don't see it super common in the National Football League, but I think this could, let's say that is what happens, Joshi. 7th seed, they lose in the wild card round. That's their season. I think there is a situation in which Ed Policy goes to both Goody and LaFleur and says, hey, I'm not giving you long-term extensions. I'm just going to give you one more year. So next year isn't a lame duck year. It's more an audition year, which in theory is that this year, sure. But could you make enough excuses for this year that, hey, maybe this is why it's happened? So for the offense, for example.
I think that's possible. I think it's unlikely. Because to me, what would happen for them to be in a spot like that would be like, there's pretty good games, some bad games, some disjointed still, and then...
Well, keep in mind, the season's only half over, so injuries aren't done.
Also, are we...
Uh-oh. You stopped, which makes me nervous.
If Matt LaFleur got a 1-year extension, but UNC came calling with $12 million a year, and hey, we'll hire a GM to do all the stuff, the recruiting, we just sort of need you here, and we need you to turn around this program, you're going to have access to free jets, et cetera, et cetera.
No. UNC as in the University of North Carolina?
Or fill in the blank of a Division I college with a lot of money.
For LaFleur?
Yeah.
No.
Little dismissive.
There's only 32 NFL jobs, and that's a lot prettier than a college job these days for somebody that hasn't been a college head coach before.
Little dismissive. If the conversation is between, can I get a long-term contract that also comes with a massive buyout that you have to pay me if you want to fire me, that's going to last the next 7 years, or be in this limbo with an opportunity to then later return to the NFL if I had the opportunity?
I think it's unlikely.
Also,
I don't think it's that unlikely.
For how much people say college football it's turning into professional, like, it really isn't that different than the NFL now. So if you have a GM that can handle the recruiting, but if you have a GM that can handle the recruiting, I don't think it is much different. I think a school like a Michigan, a Texas, a big time brand, I think he would pull the trigger and do it.
Can we just acknowledge how dumb of a conversation this is? What are we doing right now?
But I think there's a real world chance where this happens.
He hasn't coached in college football in like 20 years.
When was the last time Bill Belichick coached?
But Bill Belichick couldn't get a job in the NFL.
And Matt LaFleur
colleges do weird things,
there would be like 10 NFL teams were lining up.
Yeah.
He would stay in the NFL.
Yeah, but if it was 1-year contract extension or go somewhere else, how are you saying he's absolutely not going somewhere else?
Guess what Matt LaFleur doesn't have to do in Green Bay? He doesn't have to say, hey, Jordan Love, I'd really like you back next year. Hey, Jaden Reed, I'd really like you back next year.
Hey, Josh Jacobs don't do that.
Yes, they do. No. They have to in college.
No. That is,
you're recruiting your own players 24/7.
That is handled with your staffing.
Regardless,
Wait, you don't think
this is bananas?
You don't think Nick Sirianni is recruiting A.J. Brown right now? A.J. Brown's losing his mind because he's not getting enough touches. They've got to try and figure out how to keep him happy and keep him engaged this year. Not any different than a guy that's currently on Wisconsin that wants to transfer.
Trade deadline's gone, bro. Where's A.J. Brown going? Home?
Okay, and then at the end of the season, he would potentially be able to leave. He could check out on this year the same way a transfer could, and then the season is done, they transfer. Kind of sounds the same.
We've been through this with A.J. Brown. We've been through this with A.J. Brown. They want a freaking Super Bowl, for God's sake. Enough.
What is it? Enough what? What are you so apoplectic about?
This is ridiculous. This is what I'm apoplectic about.
It's ridiculous
to spend time on this.
It's ridiculous that you are not considering the options of a realistic situation that could happen with a head coach whose stock is as low as it's ever been. He's never been thought of worse.
But Josh,
so to treat us like we're morons, you're the moron.
Joshy.
Moron.
Yeah.
I'm not the
moron.
Moron. Yeah.
Moron.
Yeah.
Moron.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Word, Josh.
Yeah.
Again, I would say, if Matt LaFleur was fired at the end of the season, there would be multiple NFL teams. The Giants would hire him tomorrow.
Yeah, but who says he wants to go to the Giants?
Who would want to go to college?
A guy who wants $50 million guaranteed and a $70 million buyout.
I think monetarily he's doing just fine.
This is... And all the guys who leave your favorite team because they get a bigger contract elsewhere, why did they just stay because you're doing fine monetarily? I would put my life savings on Matt LaFleur not going to college football. If you got sent to Bismarck, North Dakota, but you made 7x what you do here, but no one watches your show, you wouldn't go do it?
I don't know about all that. Bismarck, North Dakota sounds pretty awful.
7x. You're gonna look your dog and your girlfriend in the face, say, hey, we are about to have our lives changed forever. And you would say, no, keep me here. I need to do what's right for me.
I love Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I love Wisconsin.
Bismarck, if you're offering 7x, I'm there. I want that on the record.
Strouf, Craig Counsell also loved Milwaukee.
Yeah.
It's fair. But it's just not the same. It's not the. He went from MLB team to MLB team, which is what Matt LaFleur would do.
That's what you think.
And Hawken chimes in, Strouf's salary is not the same playing field as LaFleur's. Fair point.
That's why I had to say 7x.
Couple zeros missing from mine.
I had to make it exact, like an insane.
Several zeros missing from mine, actually, probably. How much does he make a year?
Versace
makes 2. So
I don't know if Matt's number is actually out there.
It's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be probably less than you think.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe
Green Bay's
10.
Classically low. No.
Less than that?
Yeah, no. I would say it's probably half or less. College coaches are now making more than NFL coaches.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Google AI says about $5 million a year. And that's Google AI, so who knows?
Yeah, and I don't know if the number was reported on the same way like Rich Bisaccia's was, because I believe that was Rich Bisaccia's agent floating out there, look how good I did for my client.
He did well.
Because have you heard of a single salary of any
special teams coordinator? Maybe I have.
I feel like I would have remembered it, but it's pretty unique in that case.
Rather unique. Okay, now that we're done with that stupid conversation, moron.
You're the moron.
You're the moron.
Yeah, you don't get to call that conversation stupid. I think that was a legitimate conversation for us to have. Just because you didn't like it.
This shows you the BS panic mode we're in.
No one's panicking.
That's not panic
mode. You just
mode.
floated the idea of Matt LaFleur moving to college football next year.
I'm talking about the realistic. You lost in one of the most embarrassing fashions you've ever seen. You can't beat bad teams.
Great, it's week whatever. Buffalo lost to Miami last week. It happens.
There is no, you don't like little sayings. There's no, it's week whatever. Every single week matters.
I don't disagree with that.
Well, then don't say it doesn't matter.
Then why don't you actually treat them like they matter?
This year. But nobody's going 17-0.
Yeah, thanks.
Every team's going to lose.
What? That statement.
Go ahead.
Time out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Think about that statement and then offer me what that brings to the conversation or to the audience. Because to me, you're saying nothing. You're saying literally nothing. You are dismissing things prior that you don't like because it's ugly and the results were bad, and saying everything can change and go positive. What if it doesn't? Right now, I have no reason to believe things are going to improve. There has been nothing.
I'd be shocked if things don't improve. I'd be shocked. They're too talented. They are too talented of a football team to not improve.
Wouldn't it be more logical you'd be shocked if things drastically improved?
I'd be more shocked if this continued.
Like, they're going to... The most likely is what we've seen to this point.
He's too damn smart.
They finished the season 10-6, 10-7 and 1, 10-6 and 1, 17.
Yeah, they're a playoff team, though.
Yeah. Is in there, are you finding drastic improvement of turning things around? Or is it going to be, they're going to play a good game, they're going to play an awful game. They'll play a game that they win, they probably shouldn't.
Let's set it up this way, then. I think if this level of inconsistencies continue, then I think there's more of a serious conversation to have around Matt LaFleur's job security. But he laughed at the idea of giving up play calling because it's that absurd.
It's not that absurd.
This soon, yes, it is.
He views it as absurd because he's arrogant and he thinks he knows better than everyone.
Well, the idea of giving up play calling would require somebody else to.
Well, do you think maybe he doesn't hire people like that because he doesn't want them in the room?
I don't think that's the case because he's hired multiple guys that have gone on to be successful.
Have they?
Well,
How
not successful play callers. But.
Yeah. Made 1 year, each of them.
Hackett and Getsy, I think both of them.
Yeah, Hackett may be one of the most embarrassing head coaching hires in like the past 20 years.
Yeah, it didn't. That was the year they traded for Wilson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because they were hoping to be able to get Rodgers, weren't they?
Yeah. Yes, they were trying to lure Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yes. And they all denied that's why he was hired, but then we all knew that.
Yeah. And then,
the random meeting that Aaron Rodgers and John Elway had on a golf course, that was just happenstance.
Yeah, just random.
Just randomly. Couldn't believe that happened.
And then obviously Getsy has been horrible, but
nobody wants the guys from Green Bay because they know there's one guy. They tried it and said, well, maybe they are alerting by osmosis. And have you heard of any of those guys even getting looks?
Well, no, but I mean, not recently. I mean, Hackett was in New York as recently as last year.
Well,
and Getsy was in where? Was he in Vegas last year or was he back last year?
Let's be honest about why Hackett was in New York.
Oh, Rodgers, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
But why would he get looks if, I mean, he got looks. He got hired.
Wasn't he hired late in the process because there was...
I think it was
Aaron
a late.
Rodgers called him in.
Yeah, I believe that was a late.
Don't get me wrong. I imagine Rodgers called that shot, but it still defeats your point. He got looks and got hired.
No, it doesn't, because Aaron Rodgers hired a personal lackey like he did with Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb. People nobody else wanted who came there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Still counts.
That's the result.
Hired or not hired?
And then he was instantly fired.
Not instantly, but just about.
Yeah.
Just about.
Because everyone looked around and said, this guy doesn't know squat.
I'm not, for the record, I'm not defending Hackett. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's good.
You're defending.
But the point is,
no, you're defending LaFleur.
Getsy got a second job after being fired from Chicago.
Yeah.
So the guys obviously have got looks.
Yeah.
They're back in Green Bay now because, well, they had 2 opportunities each and it didn't go well.
I think there is
helping elevate the Packers offense.
There is a positive way to look at the idea of LaFleur not giving over, and that's because he realizes that the guys he has under him aren't capable of doing it. Maybe it is less.
You realize if he gives it away, if he gives away play calling, he gives away his job.
Correct.
Yeah.
You give up if you give up play calling.
Yep.
You admit you're not good enough. Given that that's the number one reason you were hired, was to be a play caller. And I still think he's going to be a good one, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe we come back Monday and I mean, look, if they lose this weekend, his job's gone.
The absurdity at which you viewed the idea of Matt LaFleur coaching college is the absurdity I view of, I believe they're going to turn around and be good.
No, I think there's different levels. I think yours is way more absurd.
I think yours is like, we have evidence. We've seen it. We saw players calling plays out because things have gotten so stale.
So let's do this then. Do you believe Jordan Love is a good quarterback?
Yes. Unequivocally.
Do good quarterbacks help offenses?
Mostly. Although I've also seen some of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen struggle with bad play calling.
Okay.
Mike McCarthy, for instance.
Yeah, at the end
as Aaron Rodgers was making his way to being one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever live, that was some of the ugliest football I've ever watched.
For the record, I threw a magic wand at some point.
Way.
Yeah, where did that come from?
That's been here for a while. I think Ben Brust.
Okay.
Anyway, I was also going to say McCarthy did it twice with 2 quarterbacks too.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, good point. Good point on Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
So I guess at the end of the day, like, I do believe LaFleur can get this thing turned around. I have no reason to I can doubt him, yes. Because what we've seen the last 2 weeks, I agree, is inexcusable.
And what's also happened, which has been to Matt LaFleur's benefit, is his decision making has not been questioned because everything else has been so bad. That guy's still there. The guy not knowing when to go for it on 4th down or not. That guy his decisions were leading to losses. That guy is still out there. And we didn't pay much attention.
And will he ever get over that part? I don't know.
Probably not.
But can he get to a point where this offense is cooking again and they're winning games consistently? Yes.
Anything short of Jaden Reed hitting the ground running, I think they're going to have a lot of trouble. Because I think Tucker Kraft being gone for the season impacts both the run game and pass game so much. Their only yards after catch option remaining is Jaden Reed, who's been ramping up at practice.
Yeah, sounds like he could be.
But until that door gets busted down and he's out there, which I don't know what he's going to look like. He hasn't played football in, 7-8 weeks at this point?
Yeah, it was week 2.
Was it the first drive of week 2 that he went out?
One of the first drives, yeah.
So past that, poor little kid's crying out there, just trying to have some lunch. It's not often
I hate
you look
that
up
window.
And see a kid with a kid.
Well,
just
the worst part is
sobbing.
there was literally a lunch table with 4 seats directly next to it. So, like, the person sitting with their back to us is just about at the glass. And there's a high seat with a tiny baby. That is a small child. Bawling.
Haven't gone through it. But just when I forgot where we totally were. No, it's just, I don't know why I'm trying.
Great. Do the Packers need to win on Sunday? Let's just go to that.
So, again, this goes back to the must-win thing we talked about on Monday.
You're going to have the same answer?
No, it's a must-win for LaFleur's job security. I think if he loses 3 in a row, I don't think he gets fired in season, but I think that pretty much
No, I don't think it would have to get to Jordan Love and offensive players talking bad about him publicly, which I don't think would happen. I think that's a pretty exclusively Aaron Rodgers thing.
Fair.
Because it seemed like, I think Gabe mentioned it this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. After the Packers won like 27-0 in that season, Aaron Rodgers got in front of the podium and blasted Mike McCarthy's play calling, despite them like having ostensibly a good game. I don't see Jordan Love ever, no matter if he has like multiple Super Bowls. I don't know if that's just based on his personality.
He's
a lot could change. Aaron changed a lot, but
yes, he did. But he's a softer spoken dude than I think Aaron
who's
ever
gonna
was,
gonna speak out on the offense about that?
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess on that note, though, and it was something I was going to bring up earlier before you brought us to Banana Land, is you can make excuses, fine, right? I mean, to your point, Tucker Kraft, Jaden Reed, Elton Jenkins, the offensive line hasn't been a good upgrade, and that falls more on Goody, in my opinion, than LaFleur. Those are things that have derailed this offense. Matt LaFleur has been emotional in his play calling in terms of it's clear when he doesn't trust something going on, thus the offensive line and thus the behind the line of scrimmage passes and no intermediate stuff and get the ball out quick and just trying to run fast. He's just trying to make sure things don't break down up front. And that's the play calling we've had. And things have broken down up front, but also he hasn't adjusted and he hasn't evolved.
You know what the real problem is?
What's the real problem?
The Giants have a terrible run defense.
Bad run defense, good pass rush, though.
I think the Packers' rush offense have been so poor that even a bad rush defense might not be the ointment they need to cure the rash that is their run game. But what I think is going to happen is whether it's successful or efficient or not.
Pound the rock.
Pound that rock, baby. Do you think we get Luke Musgrave involved in the first, 4 drives of the game? Probably nice.
They won't.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Yeah, why would they do that?
They might. They might not. I don't know.
How many of the first 10 plays are runs?
I hope the answer is 5 or less. Am I confident the answer will be 5 or less?
If you were betting and I put the number 8. At 6.5,
I would take the under.
Whoa.
But very thinly. I think it'd be 6-4. Let's count that.
Yeah.
Josh, what's your number?
Offensive plays.
I took 8.
I think 7 to 8 could be run plays.
Yeah, he's just going to try to get it going. And if it works, then maybe they'll score 30 points.
Yes.
And if it doesn't work, well, then you might
I'm going to laugh if they go on like a 9-play drive where you just get like 8 Josh Jacobs, like big gains in a row. So it's one of those where like for whatever reason, it just happened to work on the opening drive. And then Josh and I are right.
First play of the game is almost certainly going to be a pass, though, because he's heard it. So he's going
mix it up.
Yeah.
This will be when they do the Christian Watson down the sideline.
And then it's going to be 2nd and 3, and he's going to run. And it's going to be 1st and 10, and he's going to run. And then it's going to be 2nd and 7, and he's going to run.
3rd and 1, inside zone, out of the shotgun.
No, they'll change it up. It'll be a counter out of shotgun this time.
There you go.
Yeah, these guys thought they had us. Not now. Not so fast. What if we go the other way?
Got him.
He's better than that. You guys are so disrespectful.
He hasn't shown he's better than that this year. If this was 2023, sure. Not this year.
The last few weeks have not so much.
I mean, the first week was his best week.
Offensively?
Yes.
What about Dallas?
We have to grade on a little bit of a Dallas curve there.
There's a curve, for sure.
Yeah, they have the worst defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
But 40 points is,
40 points is great. Jordan was also a little unconscious in that game. He was
against the high school JV defense.
Awesome. Yeah.
Without a doubt. And there's a little bit of a curve. We said that.
A lot of a curve.
Second half against Pittsburgh, that was really Jordan, though.
Yeah.
More so than Matt.
Uh-huh.
And that's about it I got for good examples. Because Arizona was just meh. Cincinnati was just meh.
It took a 4th and 2 look from Jordan Love to win that game.
There's a shot New York could be meh. I don't think everything's getting cured in a week. There's still going to be moments where we're going, what the hell is this offense? There's going to be a 3 and out where it's 3 runs. There's going to be moments. But do I think this is a week where they can score?
I would love to pull the numbers. How many 3 and outs have the Packers had?
That were 3 runs.
I want to just say, preceding a punt, how many times have the Packers ran the previous 3 plays? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be 3 and out and just 3 plays, but it feels like we would be towards the top of, you started on 1st and 10, you ran 3 run plays, and then ended up punting on like 4th and 6 because you guys never got the yardage you thought you should.
We go look back at like that Arizona game when this all kind of started. All right, here we go. 3 and out punt. 1st down, sack. No, excuse me, I have this backwards. 6-yard run by Love. 2nd down pass to Emmanuel Wilson. 3rd down sack. Any other 3 and outs in this game? Yeah, here we go. 3 and out to start the 3rd quarter.
His favorite time to go 3 and out, by the way, is the start of the 3rd quarter.
Jacobs for 2 yards. Love to Wicks for 5. Incompletion punt. Here we go. Another 3 and out in the 4th quarter of that game. Oh, boy.
That one's probably going to be run, because did they have a lead?
Love fumble. Recovers his own fumble. 4-yard pass, incomplete punt. They did not have a lead. They were down 23-20. And that was their only 3 and outs of that game. So, yeah, maybe we're making it out to be a little bit worse than it's been, because obviously they didn't punt in that Carolina game, which just makes it all that much more frustrating.
Yeah, improbable.
You scored 13 points and you went to the red zone 5 times. I have a question for you about the Packers. If for whatever reason the Giants kind of did what they've done a few times this year and they get a bit of a lead, okay, entering the 4th quarter, And this comes down to the end of the game. The Giants have a 2-point lead. Brandon McManus trots out for a 45-yard field goal. Down 2 to win the game. You're thinking, what, there's no shot, right?
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a fun miss.
Maybe we do stink.
35 minutes into the show, we finally got there from him.
What is it about the Packers having to learn everything the hard way?
Well, the kicker thing, I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
But it's preposterous, frankly.
The Nate Hobbs thing, and then remember when they weren't starting Zach Tom and were trying out guys whose names I barely even remember? Like, oftentimes you end up at the right player, but you had to have it be really bad first with the wrong players.
Stubbornness, draft position, financials, right? Like,
I mean, Valentine's the other screaming example. They've tried to replace Rasheed Walker, and luckily they've just let him win his spot. This year he didn't really win it since he wasn't really competing. But, I mean, Valentine's just 3 times the cornerback of Nate Hobbs. And the saving grace, and I don't mean this literally of celebrating injury, I mean is for Carrington Valentine and the Packers defense was Nate Hobbs not physically being able to be out there.
Yeah, I mean, it made it right.
Because they benched him, he played 4 snaps, and then a week later, his snap count went way up, and then he got hurt, and then now it's all Carrington Valentine.
I'm curious from the MIA, who are with us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, what do you believe the result of the game will be? Do you think the Packers win big? Do they narrowly win? Do they lose on a heartbreaker? Do they just not show up? Like, what are you feeling about this game against the Giants?
Here, let's power rank most likely outcome, and it's
narrow win.
Packers blowout is the top.
Yep.
We'll go narrow win, loss, blowout, loss. Which of those are most likely?
I think you had it in order other than I'd flip narrow and blowout.
Yeah,
win.
I'd say
the most likely result is narrow win. Second most likely result is blowout win.
Oh, I would put loss. I would put narrow loss. Narrow win, narrow loss, blowout win.
Blowout loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the defense is too good to blowout loss. That one's like 8 tiers below the other 3.
So it's all about the offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matthew says 17-14 Packers walk it off like you said before. Chef Ed says 30-10 Packers.
Imagine how bad we'd feel coming in on Monday to talk about a 17-14 field goal.
Avaline, I might have slaughtered that pronunciation. Apologies. Says 19-11 Packers. Is there a safety somewhere in there?
That would have to be a scorigami,
I mean, it's
right?
Jameis. The Jameis safeties are very possible.
Hawkins says Jameis Winston legacy game, second most likely outcome. Narrow win, Jameis Winston legacy game. Then narrow loss.
But a Jameis Winston legacy game is going to be like 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
I was going to say, his best game has an interception in it. Bless you.
Whoa.
That
Wow.
was too loud.
I'm a loud sneezer.
Yeah, it's too
Got
loud.
that dad sneeze going on.
I do.
Have you ever injured your back sneezing?
I'm not that old.
I've done it.
Lance chimes in.
I hurt my neck sneezing once.
I did too, actually. I've hurt my neck. You're right, Hunter. We haven't seen a blowout win all season, have we? Detroit was a blowout. Because that Isaac Tesla touchdown came at the very last
first 2
minute.
games were blowout wins. Both teams climbed back in garbage time to make it the score not look.
Both of the scores looked closer than they were.
Yes.
But I mean, specifically that Detroit game was a blowout. It was 24-3, I think, or 24-6 maybe. And then that Isaac Tesla touchdown was unbelievable. Still maybe one of the best catches of the season. In that first week.
I think Isaac Tesla has like 5 catches and 3 touchdowns.
Really?
Tesla,
yes. Excuse me. Okay, so just real quick before we get to our NFL picks and to what we learned, I do want to talk NFC North because despite the way we've talked this week, the Packers are still right in the NFC North.
4 receptions, 2 touchdowns for Tesla.
Detroit 6-3, Chicago 6-3, Packers 5-3-1. The top 3 teams in the NFC North. So Packers beat the Giants. Lions lose to the who do they play this weekend? They play the Eagles, and then the Vikings beat the Bears. Packers would be back in first place in the NFC North. Despite how things are trending and how they've been going, Joshy, do you view the Packers still in contention to win the NFC North, or do you think that is Detroit's division to lose?
I think I have to be literal about it because I don't think the Lions are as good as they were last year, which makes them susceptible to dropping a game and the Packers possibly winning 2 against them, which then everything changes in terms of what the division looks like. I do think the Bears are going to return back to earth. So I still think there's a chance. I'd say it's less than a chance than I would have thought it was 3 weeks ago. But yeah, the NFC North is good, but the Lions are not as good as I thought they could be.
I agree with that. And it's fun to look at sports books. I'm looking at Potawatomi Sportsbooks, our friend over there at Potawatomi. There's just no respect for the Bears, which makes me giggle, despite being 6-3. They're plus 700 to win the division. Packers are plus 175. Detroit's minus 125.
Yeah.
So it's still close.
Yeah, and it tells you how many division games all the teams have left, and then the Packers having one up on the team they view as the favorite is, in the head-to-head matchup, one up on them. I think is sort of that's how it's. So I'm pretty much in line with how the odds say it there.
Well, look, after this week, things get very interesting for the Packers. They host Minnesota next Sunday. They go to Detroit 4 days later on Thanksgiving, and then they return home on December 7th to play Chicago. They've got 3 divisional games in a row before going to Denver, which is not an easy place to play / not a bad team, right? Denver's in first place of the AFC West right now. Sneaky, what are they? 7-2? 8-2?
8-2. The quietest 8-2 team in the NFL.
Does that make New England the quietest 9-2 team in the NFL?
Yes. Well, I feel like everyone's talking about them now.
Everyone's talking about
national
Drake
television. National television win last night. Drake made the betting favorite for MVP.
Here's something, and this isn't talking about fantasy, my team specifically, but I had something happen, which is the most unique and interesting. I executed a trade for Travion Henderson.
Okay.
It was only a couple minutes before the trade deadline in our league. It was set wrong a Wednesday randomly at noon. But because the trade approval process is 2 days and
you didn't get him,
Travion Henderson plays with them, I do get him, but I get him next Wednesday. So
no, what I'm saying is you didn't get him for last night.
Yes. So, but I'm in a situation now where there's a guy on my opponent's team and there's guys on my team that we can't play that still have games to play that could end up injured before they ever actually play for our roster because you can't do anything after the trade deadline passes.
That's too bad, I guess.
So there's Jordan Addison and Woody Marks.
Hunter, are you going to yell at him or not?
I was going to wait until he was done. You went way too far into this, Josh. For how much you've yelled at Strouf.
It's fascinating.
No, it's not. No one cares.
It is.
This isn't a fantasy football show. Nobody cares. Stop talking about your fantasy teams.
If we were to judge the amount of people who are in this and also play fantasy, 95%.
Dr. Denver Dan says, "Oh yeah, fantasy talk. Let me lower the lights." Matthew says, "Ugh, that sucks. I would have pushed that through as the commissioner."
Travion Henderson had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
For someone else. Here I am.
Hawken points out, Joshy qualified he wasn't talking about his fantasy team, then proceeded to talk about his fantasy team.
Not my team. I'm talking about trade deadlines. Here's a note to all of you. Don't put a trade deadline on a Wednesday because that screws everything up.
All right, here's a note to all of you. It's time now for our NFL picks, and that guy who's yelling over there is in last place. The loser of our NFL picks this season will spend Wild Card Weekend in Will's apartment. Got your sleeping bag picked out?
Here's the thing about this. I've learned, and from watching and tracking your guys' games, I just haven't gotten lucky.
Yeah.
Will's had like 3 of the most improbable wins you could of the season. And it's like, you look up, you're watching a game, you're like, wow, that's a wild ending. Oh yeah, Will picked that team that was down 17 with 6 minutes remaining in the game. And I've had multiple leads going into fourth quarters that I was on the wrong end of them losing.
There's no skill here.
It's driving me bonkers. I want to get lucky.
Well, maybe you will this week. Josh, you're in last place. You kick us off. Packers-Giants Sunday at MetLife Stadium.
I mean, Packers. It has to be Packers. I don't think they're going to cover. Oh, it's only 6.5 now. The 6.5 spread.
Oh, I like that better.
I think it's going to be 3.5, 4.5, 5. But I do think the Packers win.
And your underdog, we picked this just straight up. An underdog, a betting underdog you believe will win the game.
I hate this one that I would even think about saying this. But it's got to be the Bears, right? Bears plus 2.5 against JJ McCarthy has played 6 good minutes of football in his NFL
6
career.
good minutes. I thought you were going to say quarters.
No, minutes.
Quarters.
It was that one fourth quarter in the first game he played.
Yeah,
that was magical.
And
Detroit, he played good. Well,
fine.
Yeah,
he was average.
He had 2 or 3 good passes that made or broke the game. There is a little piece of me that wants to go Seahawks just because they score so many points, but I do think the Rams are the best team in football. So yeah, I'm going to do something I don't want to do, and I'm going to pick the Bears.
God, that graphic's going to look gross. It's going to have Josh's face and then the Packers logo and the Bears logo right next to each other.
Wait, switch. Is my hand off the chess piece?
Your hand's off the chess piece.
I just scrolled to the bottom. Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, does that make you feel a whole lot better?
Yeah, it does.
He's referring to the Lions.
Yes.
No, you're sticking with the Bears. You have to. Let's go to Will and Hunter, who I believe are tied for second place.
What are our actual records?
I'm going to be honest.
Here's the issue: is Will keeps track and he's not here.
Yep.
But separating us all, it's 2 or 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Will went with the Packers, and then he took the Commanders for his underdog.
The Commanders are 2.5-point dogs to the Dolphins. That game being played in Madrid, 8:30 a.m. on Sunday.
That is a horrific game.
Yeah.
Nobody's waking up early for that one.
I feel bad for everyone in Spain.
Here's the thing about that game in specific, and if we're here, we might as well talk. The Dolphins are still really fast. They're not good.
They're very fast.
The one thing everyone says about the Commanders is how old and slow they are.
Correct. Yeah, that feels like the perfect game for Devon Achane to just go bananas.
Yeah, and Jalen Waddle to have 130 yards receiving.
If Tua can stay upright, yes.
But with the way Will's luck has worked, Bobby Wagner's going to have a strack and pick it up and run it in for a game-winning touchdown.
Mariota's going to look like he was in college again. Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Packers as well. And then I've been bouncing around between a few. I'm going to take the Broncos being 3.5-point underdogs at home against the Chiefs.
God, this is a great slate this weekend. Broncos over the Chiefs for Hunter. I like that pick. It was one of them I was looking at. But just real quick, listen to some of these games this weekend. Noon on Sunday, Buccaneers, Bills, both teams 6-3. In the NFC North, Bears at Vikings, 6-3, 4-5. Just an interesting game. Chargers, Jags just always brings something weird, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't they play in a playoff game and Trevor Lawrence blew a big lead?
Or was it the other way around? Was it Justin Herbert that blew a big lead?
I thought it was Justin Herbert blew
Somebody
the lead.
blew a big lead.
I'm pretty sure Justin Herbert blew the lead because then Colin Russo, friend of show and known Jags fan, was blowing up my phone about Trevor Lawrence having the comeback.
I think that's how it went. I think it was the other way around.
It was Jags 31, Chargers 30.
Yes.
This is the game of the week, 3:05 on Fox on Sunday. It's Seahawks at Rams, both teams 7-2. Awesome game. Chiefs Broncos is interesting at 3:25 CBS.
Yeah, the
Chiefs
problem with that
5-4.
one, it might be a slop fest and boring.
It might be, but Chiefs need a win. I mean, if they're 5-5, that ain't looking pretty in the AFC, which is good this year. Sunday night game is Lions Eagles. Really good slate of football.
I mean, we had stinkers the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
So,
Major stinkers.
I just want to see
Packers-Eagles was
some
supposed to be
games
the
on
saving
national
grace.
TV with some actual scoring. That's all I want.
yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
Had the Packers and Eagles played the ugliest game this season?
That Thursday night game
if you
this
like
week.
Defense. Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point of the season where teams, the good teams who knows they're playing the bad teams that like traded assets and are in turmoil, they're going to do the bare minimum to win games because they know the other side, more than being bad, they're also like defeated and quitting.
Yeah. For my dog pick, I'm going to go with a team that just seemingly can't win despite being a good team, I thought. I will take Carolina to beat Atlanta. Atlanta's 3-6. They can't win.
And they're somehow 5-point favorites at home.
Yeah, down to 3.5
okay.
here on ESPN.com. But the Panthers 5-5. They run the ball well. I got the Panthers as my underdog pick this week. Former Packers opponent. So there you have it.
Former Packers opponent.
Great. Why did you say it like that? There's just sometimes, Strouf, I don't understand how your brain works and why you would think that's the best way to say that.
Former opponents. They're all former opponents at some point.
That's a good point. I meant specifically this month, but
Okay, still, what does that do?
I got to be honest, guys. I've had a long week. I've had a long day. Woke up bright and early to go to the airport this morning. Tired. All right. Time now for What We Missed, What We Learned. That is presented by Door County Distillery. Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. Whatever you need for your Thanksgiving party, gathering, holiday, Friendsgiving. You doing one of those, I hear?
Next weekend.
You hosting?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You sound thrilled.
Better have the bourbon from Door County Distillery ready to rock.
I might need to go up there and take like the jug. You know the things they showed us with what am I looking for here?
A barrel?
Yeah, yeah, barrel. Bring a barrel down.
You would need to go all the way to Door County for that, but you could also just go to a local retailer, find a bottle of the bourbon, or the brandies, or the vodkas, or the gins, or the rums.
How many bottles are in a barrel?
A lot of them. A lot of them.
I'll get that number here for you in a second.
No matter where you are, Milwaukee, Madison, Stevens Point, Green Bay, or right in Door County. Door County Distillery's got you covered. Wherever great booze is sold, check out their website, doorcountydistillery.com. Find the retailer nearest you and elevate your cocktail experience and your Friendsgiving. Joshy, looking at you, buddy, at doorcountydistillery.com.
Hunter, have you looked at this number yet?
Which number?
How many?
So I'm going to take that as a no.
Yeah, how many bottles of whiskey are typically in a barrel?
Oh, no.
Is this a guessing game?
Yeah, I want the chat to guess too, and no cheating, chat. How many bottles are typically in a barrel of whiskey?
It's going to be a
Price
lot.
is Right rules.
So I can't go over?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I will put my guess in at... I'm going to go 50. 50.
I'm going to go 125.
So we can end this. It's 267.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You have a hard time with dimensions, huh? Not your game.
Brett says 65. Avalon says 54. Joseph says 83.
Guys.
Matthew says 75.
Imagine a barrel and then imagine a bottle. Dump it into the bottom. Does it even fill the bottom?
Hawkins says 72. PM is going to be our winner. 200. No Price is Right rules, right? What'd you say?
267.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
PM going to be our winner.
Guys.
A lot of wow reactions are flying through the chat right now. The wow, the shocked face.
I don't know if they're just humoring us or if everyone really thought like you. Imagine pouring out into a bucket 50 bottles. Does that seem like you like?
That's a lot of bottles, Josh.
It is.
Yeah, but think about how big a barrel is.
Like,
Okay.
The Brewers literally have an alternate mascot called Barrel Man because you could put a barrel around a human's chest. 50 bottles.
It depends on the barrel size, but it's a lot of whiskey, to Josh's point. It is a lot of whiskey.
And it depends on the aging and, how, like, there's a whole bunch of things in there. But typically the number I see here is...
I hate it here. All right, we got to go.
Green Bay, Phoenix, 1 win on the season against a D3 team, and they're counting it on their schedule. That's what we missed.
Don't miss our Doug Gottlieb conversation.
It's a good thing he's helping you out and getting some wins and buzz behind his team before that goes live.
Goes live tonight. ESPN Wisconsin Coaches Week continues. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. My conversations with Marquette, Shaka Smart, Milwaukee's Bart Lundy are out. Doug Gottlieb comes out tonight. Greg Gard tomorrow. And the radio version will air for the first time. What time is that tomorrow, Josh? 11 or noon? 11 to noon, I believe. Yes, on ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison as well. So
forgive me, I don't know much about Ripon basketball. How much of Ripon basketball is just simply guys who decided they wanted to continue playing basketball?
Well, it's D3, so let's still get recruited.
Do you think everyone on that team was a starter on their high school team?
Yes. I've seen Ripon play. They played Oshkosh. Those guys were all guys that started on their high school teams. They aren't bad, but they're also not great for D3 hoops. It's not like they beat a WIAC team or something like that. Yeah, the fact that they're counting that as a win is bad. Shout out Nolan Minnesali, though, Marquette High School grad, dropping 20 points on the Phoenix in the W.
They got a kid from Crivets on their team in Ripon. Know where Crivets is?
Yes.
Way up north?
Near Door County.
Good stuff.
Right. Also, since we're on high school, the Whitefish Bay High School, have you heard about this?
Yes.
This is an awesome story.
So great.
I know what you're talking about.
They were 3-6. Yeah, I read all about it and was fascinated. 3-6 regular season football team, but because of the new way they determine seeding, that team got in because they play in a really competitive, good conference.
Okay.
Previous iterations, this team would have never been in the playoffs.
Yep.
They've now won 3 consecutive games and have a chance to go to state tonight.
Yep.
What division are they in?
Are they 2? 1 or 2?
They're geez. Now I'm trying. It's 3 or 4.
You guys were arguing about who was telling the story. You don't even know what division they might qualify for staying in.
So anyway, this is also, if they make it, they would be the first 8 seed to ever make it to Camp Randall. This is the furthest they've ever gone in school history is playing tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So awesome story. Also tune into Arrowhead Wanakee on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel or the ESPN Wisconsin app. I'll be on the call for that
Whitefish
game.
Bay is an 8 seed in Division 3 taking on 4 seed Reedsburg tonight. So either a 4 seed or an 8 seed is going to the state championship game next week.
And I believe I was reading a story about an 8 seed making it to state is even less probable than a 1-16 in the tournament.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, because you have to win multiple games, right?
Yeah.
They won their opening round game against the 1 seed New Berlin West 31-7.
That's a good program right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Fascinating story.
Yeah. So,
shout out to Whitefish Bay.
Especially on these airwaves, we were extremely critical of the WIA. Remember last year when they just accidentally put the wrong team into the...
Oh, yeah.
But hey, they did something right. They got a good team in there that is making great news. Fun story. Shout out to them for doing something right for once.
I love it. All right, that will do it for us. We'll talk to you Monday after Packers Giants. Green Bay Game Day gets the party started 9 a.m. on Sunday. I will talk to you then on ESPN Wisconsin. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. Make decent decisions. Peace.